Hey there, investors. This is David with NationwidePropertyLiquidators.com. Hey, just wanted to talk a little bit today. Coming to you from rainy Chattanooga. It's a beautiful 62 degrees. But I want to talk today about setting goals for yourself. And I'm going to kind of gear this towards new entrepreneurs because that's mostly who's out there. And if you're in real estate or whatever type of business you want to start, you have to have a goal for what you're going to do and where your, company, what it is that you want to accomplish. And I think it's super important to know, to have that 5-year, 10-year vision. But one of the things that I was taught by one of my mentors is that's fantastic, and you should definitely be able to visualize that because that gives you purpose and keeps to remind you where you're going. But you really need to have smaller goals. And one thing that I preach a lot is always start with the end in mind. So where are you going? And then the next question to be analytical about it is how are you going to get there? What are reasonable steps that will get you to that point? So let's say you want to have a fabulous restaurant downtown that has new fusion cuisine. I don't even really know what that means, but if you're just starting out today and you have no money, how do you do that, right? So what are the steps that would get you there? Well, you may not have $50,000 to go put down on a lease and equipment and all those things. So maybe you need to start smaller, right? So maybe you need to start catering, selling plates out of your house, or getting a small food truck, or something like that. So same thing in real estate, right? So when I started, like most people, I wanted to have hundreds of rental properties so that income would cover all of my monthly bills and I could travel, right? Even 15 years ago, I knew that was what I wanted to do. I wanted to spend most of my time or retirement or whatever it is, or at the point when I stopped actively working, retiring. But I couldn't do that day one, right? Surely I didn't have $1 million to go put down on some apartment complexes. So one thing that I've always explained to people is everything is like the scales of justice, right? One goes up, one side goes up, one side goes down. And usually that's in terms of time and money. Okay, so generally you've either got one or the other. Okay, most new people that I've ever met where they're starting their first business, they're starting their business because they want that freedom. They want to feel that sense of achievement, of growing something, of building something, but they don't have a lot of money. But what they do have is time, right? So, you can't buy your way to the next level. You just have to go out and work hard. Or not work hard. But you're going to have to do some level of work, right? Hopefully that makes sense. Where I'm at in my company, after doing this for 10 years, I don't have to go and paint apartments anymore, right? I can buy that time back and just pay somebody else. So that's a time or money example, right? In the beginning, my brother Thomas and my wife Heather and I would go out and we would paint our rental properties and tear up carpet and do those things. Now we're a little further down the road, so we can afford to pay people, right? So I want you to understand that. In the beginning, if you don't have the money, you're just going to have to do that work yourself. And then the second thing that comes into that is time compression, right? So any goal that you've got can be done, in a certain period of time. So there are things that you can give yourself 2 years, like, okay, I'm going to buy a quad within the next 2 years, right? Okay. So that's going to take a certain amount of time and effort, and whatever you're willing to dedicate to that goal, because again, everybody's different, everybody has different goals and a different amount of effort that they want to put into that. But you could also accomplish that goal in the next 2 months, right? In a tenth of the time, or 9% of the time, whatever 2 months to 24 is. So, and that's just by working harder in a compressed amount of time. So goals, have long-term goals, break them down into short, achievable, bite-sized pieces, because if you have such a big goal and you're only working towards the end, you could get 2/3 of the way there and go, oh gosh, I haven't gotten this done, so what have I really accomplished? So have, small plateaus on the way up. Celebrate those plateaus when you get there. Keep your eye on the end prize, and then everything is time or money, right? So if you don't have money, you're just gonna have to do the work to offset what you could buy for with your money. So like in the early days of investing, I didn't have any money, right? Thomas, Heather, and I, we moved to Chattanooga from Orlando. We had like $5,000 between us, but we knew we wanted to be real estate investors, right? So, I had to find people that wanted to sell their house, and we didn't have a lot of money, so we did things we bootstrapped our way up. And what that meant is, we hand drew bandit signs and put them out there. We want to buy houses, and we went out and put them out every week, right? So we worked hard. We drove neighborhoods where we thought would be good places to buy houses, and Heather we would come home at night, and Heather would handwrite postcards, handwrite yellow letters, right? So I also could have, if I had money, what I could have done was paid somebody to do that or paid a service, right? But we didn't have money, so we had to do it. We had to do it ourselves and do it the hard way. Once we bought our first couple of rental properties, I could have just paid a property manager to do it, but I didn't have the money, right? I didn't have the cash flow in there, so we did it. So time or money, right? That's an important thing to understand, and to not get wrapped up in, this person on Instagram told me I should go buy a list of 100,000 people and pay someone to go cold call it and mail 100,000 mailers, and if I can't do that, I'm a failure. Well, no, that's not true. If you don't have the money, that's okay. Break those goals down into a bite-sized chunk and go ahead and work on it. And once you get to a point where you can pay somebody else to do it, that's what you should do. Buy some of your time back. But if you don't have any money, you're just going to have to do it yourself. So hopefully that makes some sense to you. But anyways, shoot me a message if I can ever help you. Happy to offer any advice I can. I remember when I was starting out in real estate and how hard it was to get help, and maybe that was back before the YouTube age and Facebook and Instagram and all those things, but feel free to reach out. I'm happy to answer any question I can. If I don't have the answer, I'll try to connect you with somebody who's smarter than me and can help you. But good luck out there, and let me know if I can help.